Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Dialogue and Love podcast with your hostess, Goddess Love, and my special guest,
Sister.
Sister. All right. Anything you want to say? Introduce yourself.
No, they know I'm sister.
Okay. All right. This is Sister. That's all y'all need to know. So, all week long, I have been posting reels, clips, whatever you would like to call them, of the five love languages, which all led up to our topic for today. What does love look like to you? So, since you are the guest, what does love look like to you?
To me, love looks like reciprocity.
Okay.
I think that's something that's a love language, something that can be felt because you're watching and observing your partner.
hmm Okay. So, we talk about the love languages. There's a book by a gentleman by the name of Gary Chapman, and he talks about the five love languages. But my personal belief, and others as well, is that there's more than just five. It's not limited to just one.
Right.
You could have several different love languages, and then coming from a cultural standpoint or the Black standpoint, those love languages may look a little different from somebody else because I only talk about what I know and I don't know nothing about no other culture but the Black culture. And so, starting with the love languages, the first one that I tapped into, because you talked about reciprocity, but we're going to go out of order here. So, with the reciprocity, that could fall under uh, gifts and acts of service.
Yes.
Now, gifts is, you know, giving a person things just to see them happy. It doesn't have to be a special occasion, but you kind of catering it to what you know they like.
Right.
You might be out shopping, doing something, and say, you know what, they might like that. Or the kid, I know my kids love them some McDonald's nuggets, so I'm gonna get them that just because. Not, it's a given that kids eat McDonald's these days, but when we was coming up, that was kind of a luxury.
Right, exactly.
I ain't had
You
no
had
McDonald's money.
at home.
So what you can do in that aspect with the gifts is, if you got a person that's always giving something to you, they're always doing something for you, you want to reciprocate that back to them.
Because it's showing that they always thinking about you.
Yep. So one of the examples of what Black people do, buying outfits, matching outfits, jewelry that's matching. The younger people now, they do matching tattoos and grills and all of that type of
and
stuff.
The heels and with the ones,
Right. And so it might be matching the colors or something like that. So, giving gifts is one of the best things that we all, I don't know nobody that don't like getting gifts.
Loves receiving, but if you also love receiving, you should love giving them, especially if somebody always doing something for you.
Absolutely.
And it don't even have to be big. It's just the fact that people like to feel thought about. Absolutely. That's the specialness of getting something as a gift.
Okay, so going with that, we're going to go to the acts of service. Now, for me, I love to cook and I love to see people enjoying food and stuff like that. So,
acting like grandma.
Look at them, licking it in. Standing there watching everybody eat. You done got off on them eating, exactly. So you ain't even hungry. But an act of service, or it's a labor of love when you cook.
Right.
So
because you putting your love into the food.
Absolutely.
You thinking about these folks, feeding them. Thinking about feeding somebody, that's a love language.
Yeah.
Because I don't feed everybody. That's how you gonna know I've messed with you. Because if I don't ever give you nothing as far as food, me standing over the stove, I feel like that's a privilege. You got to earn that.
So you ain't gonna just, hey,
if you're not one of my kids, if I just so happen to cook a meal and I might like you like that, I might feed you. But once again, reciprocity. You didn't buy me a 4 for 4. What I'm gonna give you a good, meatloaf and mashed potato dinner for. You can smell it as we on our way out, but you're not gonna taste it.
And that's a given with your mate, your family, your kids, whatever, that you want to make sure they eat.
Exactly.
So I love you, so I want to make sure you ain't hungry.
That's loving you, making sure your belly full.
Okay, so we kind of, like I said, we kind of skipping around. So I'll go to words of affirmation.
I love you.
And I love you too, sister.
You mine, baby girl.
Now, one of the main things we do as Black people, most of us believe in God. And if we pray for you, we talking to, and for those of us who aren't religious, but if we talking to the universe or higher powers or whatever it is on your behalf, that's because we want to make sure you're good. So we're using our words to affirm you, even if we're not saying it to you. Now, again, we just said, I love you, sister. That's affirming to you that I love you, and you can feel those words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You expressing that affection, telling somebody you appreciate them. Because sometimes just because you do something for somebody, once again, this is a love language. Mm-hmm. You can do something for somebody, but they would much rather hear you say, you know what, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
They want you to know
that's more meaningful than something material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you sending your mate a text every morning when they might be asleep when you going to work.
Or a nude pic. That's a love language.
True that. Because that can be sent in a text.
And it's slightly a gift. It's like an all-in-one.
That's true.
Because it's giving you something to look at, so you know it's going to be some physical touching.
That could be an act of service, too.
You see? All of that. That's what that is.
Because you send that pic, and boy, they might have been having a bad day.
But you done made them rise up from that negativity.
And giving them something to think about for the rest of the day, because who knows what might happen once you get home.
You see.
Just saying. So, yeah, that covers a lot, So, yeah,
And those words of affirmation can take it.
True that, because who knows what you might say.
Because it's just like whatever, right? What you say sets the tone for everything else.
Mm-hmm. And it can be so simple. It doesn't have to be anything major. You ain't got to be, what's the poet, Maya Angelou, with the words that you giving them or whatever. You don't have to write a whole love poem, but
affirmation is like reassurance to your mate that you have certain feelings. Like, so if I love you often to your mate, it's like that person ain't gonna wonder whether or not you love them. Because you can say I love you all day, but if you don't have any other forms of showing it, sometimes people have a hard time believing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, okay, you said
you love me, but you don't touch me. You don't give me nothing.
We don't spend no time
You don't
together.
feed me.
Right. So how do you love me? Like,
right.
What else is this?
You got to make your words and actions match.
And I feel like words of affirmation is very important with children as well.
Yes.
Because you're planting seeds in your children. You're their first teacher. You're their first cheerleader. You're their first everything. So if you telling your children every day when they wake up in the morning, when they get ready to go to school, today going to be a good day. You got plenty of rest. You're smart.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. And when you get home, we're going to tell me all about what your day was like.
Exactly.
How did everything go? And helping them with their self-esteem.
Yep. Because that builds self-awareness in a kid as far as they are being taught to be that. Like, and you have to give yourself words of affirmation as well. That's a love language to yourself.
Yeah. And, I tell people, when they have little sessions with me or whatever, about doing mirror exercises where you look in the mirror and you look at yourself and you find something that you love about yourself and you say it to yourself. You're beautiful. You have to reinforce that.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people in this world who, even though they might be made up and hair fly and lip gloss popping and lashes and all of this stuff, but they don't believe they're beautiful.
Right.
Unless somebody else tells them that.
Exactly.
So you got to have love of self. It's not just about what other people think. You got to think it yourself as well, because you can't just leave it in somebody else's hands. So that's across the board.
Yeah.
Okay, so I talked about quality time, and one of the things, and when I put down skating together, I was like, yeah, because when I was a kid, me and my cousins every Saturday would go to skate playing and we would enjoy ourselves. We have our little money and get something to eat, and it was just a fun time. But one of the main things that Black people do is play cards.
Yes,
Playing spades, because you gonna talk trash if you got a good teammate. Now, if you playing teams and you don't sit down at the table with Black people because they gonna clown you. They could have loved you
cuss
all
you
day.
out.
But if you sit down and you renege or you ain't playing right with them spades, they gonna cuss you.
Yeah.
But it's all in love.
And I want to play with you on their team. I don't want
Exactly. That's why now I'm not a big spades player. So every time I done ever went somewhere and somebody said, you know how to play spades, I'll be like, I'm not. I know how to play, but I'm straight. I'm not a good player.
No,
most
when it
people
come
don't
to that
admit
anger.
that. Yeah, because I'm not a competitive person. So a lot of people not gonna admit that they're not a good spades player. Yeah, I'm Black. I play spades, but I'm not that good at it. So you might not want me on your team. I'm warning. Like yeah, the diehard. So when you have quality time with your mate, it's not just about sitting on the couch together and you scrolling on your phone and they scrolling on their phone. No, quality time is you putting that phone down and y'all just sitting there. You might not be saying
cuddling,
nothing, but y'all cozied up next to each other and cuddling. Woo wee, that says a lot.
Because that's physical touch,
absolutely,
and the exchange of energies. So you
absolutely.
can feel it. So don't be out here pretending that you want to cuddle and you don't, because a real cuddler gonna know you don't want to cuddle.
And don't be complaining about your arm falling asleep. I'm just playing. But again, because I don't like to just focus on romantic relationships. Spending quality time like you, me, and mama.
Well, yeah, because I cuddle my kids.
Yeah.
These things big, grown, and rusty, and we still will be hugged up in the bed with each other watching TV.
Well, my boy almost 30 years old. And yeah. He got to put me, can I lay my head in your lap? So, it never goes away if you've always been doing that.
But that's that physical touch, that's affirmation, that's a lot.
Yep.
Just that physical is a lot.
And it's just meaningful because it's like, even when your parent or whoever, mainly with parents, when they pass on, when they pass, you think about that because that was your safe space. And it's like, I don't have that no more. So you cherish it even more, that you could go lay in your mama's bed and she wasn't gonna tell you, get your rusty behind on my bed. Right. She liked and that even you if was she there. Did,
she was playing with you.
Right. Because she liked that you were there. Because when you have grown children and they do certain things that you used to do when they was a kid, it takes you back to that time. So that's really important. And just when you got friends, y'all just we're gonna meet up once a month so we can have lunch or go to a movie, or we're gonna have a movie night at home, or again playing cards or game night or something like that. Everybody's having a good time laughing and talking and just spending that good quality time together. And it don't have to be every week. It don't have to be every other day. Because see, your real friends, y'all don't have to talk on a regular basis. Ain't nobody gonna have no hard feelings if they don't hear from you.
Because everybody grown and know life be life. And they got some sense anyway.
Absolutely. So, and then if it's a problem, there's going to be communication.
Yep. So it won't be no misunderstanding about nothing.
So leading into the physical touch, one of the things, and I know when you was little, I would comb your hair and wash your hair and, grease your scalp and braid it and whatever else. And, you'd always laugh about that one little part where you said it made your butt tickle. So, but when you touching somebody, like you said earlier about the energy, you can feel that energy. And the person that's giving that feels it as well because they're making you look good. Right. They had a hand in making you look and feel good. So everybody wins in that aspect with the physical touch. But with your kids, you cuddling them and holding them close to you. Like when my son was a baby, I would rub his head and it would just soothe him and he would go to sleep. Not a little girl. She She wasn't a touchy-feely type, but she would have her moments.
Right.
So if she was ready to come climb in your lap and sit with you or lay up against you or lay down with you, you better put down whatever you doing.
Right. Stop what you doing and do this.
Yeah, because that wasn't her
Yeah, because she gonna
personality.
do it for a couple minutes and run back off.
And then she gone. Like, I got my feel, I'm out. So she's very independent that way. So she wasn't needy when it came to stuff like that. So you took advantage of them little snatches of, you know, physical time, touch and quality time that you got with her. So in those aspects, and that's just scratching the surface. It's so much more. Reciprocity is a form of, of a love language. Not having to ask. We just talked about that. Not having to ask for help when you see what's going on.
Right.
And men need to understand we're not asking you to read our minds. We just want you to be observant, paying attention to what it is. If if we don't live together and you see that my garbage is filled up and you don't have to say, you want me to take this garbage off for you?
Right.
Just take the garbage out. Or, and that has nothing to do with money. Nowadays everybody, that's the topic. She want my money, and if he wants some money, if I want some money, he should give it to me and pay my bills and this and that. And it's not all about that.
No. Because money not love.
It's not.
It's like, strip that away. Can you still perform the love languages to a person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I always say, what I need from a mate has nothing to do with money.
Yeah. It's something that money can't buy.
Can you take care of my heart?
Right. And that's why you will assume that that's so simple. Because money is the thing that's easy to toss around. But nobody can seem to get the free 99 aspect of the love languages, in a sense. Like, if you do all of these things with somebody, whether it be your man, auntie, grandma, cousin, it's like you would think that, I guess, but that would be in a perfect world somewhere.
Right.
That this would be easy to, like, bounce back and forth off of each other without it being said, because all of the things is being done and it's being proven. Like, certain things speak without being spoken.
Yep.
And when you love something anyway.
Yeah. If you love something or you love somebody,
it's going to show
much, you're going to want to show it. There shouldn't be any pressure for you to do that. Now I realize everybody is different. Some people are not outward with their communication or displays of love and stuff like that. And I get that. But if you really care about somebody, you might want to adjust that a little bit, not change, but adjust that a little bit so that you're keeping this person happy within the relationship between the two of you. Communication is a major part. And I don't mean just arguing, because you can talk to somebody. I just realized how I said that. But you can communicate with somebody and it not turn into an argument when you choose the right words. Some people think, well, I'm blunt. You don't have to be mean.
That's me.
You can say what you have to say and use the right words without making somebody feel bad. Now,
But see, me being like that, though, being blunt and watching and picking and choosing what you say, you still sometimes is going to get taken the wrong way if you dealing with somebody who just don't want to hear what you're
sensitive, yeah, and they don't want to hear, even though you're telling the truth, they don't want to hear it, because that means they got to be accountable for whatever is going on. They got to, because we all play a part in these things. At any relationship we're in, whether it's between us and our children, parents, and friends, mates, siblings, whatever it is, everybody has their part. So that's where the communication comes in. If you really love this person and you want to let them know, look, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I feel like you need to know, especially if somebody, you know how I am about asking them an opinion.
Right.
Don't ask me if you don't want to hear the truth, honey. But
see, I don't love you if I lie to you.
I'm not going to lie to you if I care anything about you. That ain't helping you to just be like, oh yeah, that's okay. And sometimes we let our friends or whoever live in a little delusion, but when they really need to hear something, okay, you know what? You done talked me
and
to
that's
death.
because I love you.
Yeah, and you done talked me to death about this situation. Now what you gonna do to fix it? You know. But for me, what love looks like is a person who makes me feel safe, who does things for me just because I'm me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because they want something from me or, they feel like, well, if I do this for her, then she gonna do that for me. No, we're doing things for each other because we love you or because I love you and because we care about each other. There's no other motivation. If you can stimulate me mentally, if you can take care of my heart and my mental, you check on me and say, are you okay? Is it anything you need to talk? And actively listening. All of that looks like love to me, you know. And if you mess up and you apologize to me, not repeating the same infraction.
Right.
See, you can tell somebody you sorry 15,000 times, but why keep being sorry about the same stuff over and over again?
Because once again, that makes it a lie.
It makes it a lie because you're not sorry. You keep doing the same shit over and over again. And then that's when you have to decide, okay, why am I still here?
Right.
But we stay sometimes because we love them. We keep dealing with them because we love them.
Yep.
We want to give them time to change whatever their actions are. And sometimes you have to walk away from friendships, relatives, and lovers, and even your kids, because that love is not being given the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gave up on them. You don't stop loving them, but sometimes you have to love them from afar.
And love yourself.
Love
yourself
all of that the most.
Yourself. Exactly.
Okay.
You can't perform none of the love languages if you don't perform them on yourself first.
Yep. You are your first and most important love. If you ain't loving you, you ain't loving nobody.
And don't let nobody tell you that's selfish.
Oh, not at all.
Because I love when people tell me that.
That's selfish. You care about yourself more than you care about me. And it's like, you don't.
I can't love you the way that I do if I didn't.
Hello.
I wouldn't have that to give.
Your cup got to be full.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite analogy.
And mine is overflowing, but you just can't, anybody can't have it.
Right, because the cup, what's in the cup is for you. The overflow is for you to offer to others. So if your cup is steady flowing, steady going, and it never empties, okay, well then I got enough for all of y'all because I'm full.
And that comes, I believe, from my mother's words of affirmation of you the shit. And her other favorite, they just jealous.
Exactly. So, they hating on you. Right. She was always talking about somebody hate.
You know why they said that shit? Because they jealous. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And
right.
And you
that
know,
makes sense, mama.
You when you work hard for certain things and somebody tell you showing off and you just came over here because you wanted to show off because you got a new car, it's like that's a slap in the face.
Right.
So you know what? You ain't never got to worry about me coming over this motherfucker again. Cause
your words just affirmed you don't with me.
But in the meantime, I'm cheering you on every time you make an accomplishment.
And giving acts of service when you need a ride.
See how the love languages work everywhere?
Didn't charge you no gas.
And you didn't offer.
That's because I love you though.
I love you, so hey, yes, I will take you over there to the weed spot.
Mm-hmm.
Put myself in
even
danger.
Let you control the radio.
Now, and you know you don't let nobody touch the radio.
That's because I love you though.
Because I love you.
That's why you can get away with certain stuff. Yeah, like, but don't abuse the love.
They don't understand. They just don't understand. And so that's why you stick with the people who love you just like you love them, who have no expectations of anything other than you being you. That's it. That's all. Well, I guess we sum that up. And okay, so I always like to close it out with saying, for anybody out here who listens to, we spend a lot of time on social media, and sometimes we pick up other people's beliefs, and it's like we take them on as our own. Don't be so jaded to feel like I ain't never gonna find love, or don't nobody care about me, don't nobody value me. Go to the places where you get all of that, where you get all of that energy of love.
Not the strip club.
Okay. Love in the club, I don't know. But I mean, you might need a little love in that moment. They might make you feel good, but that is just a fantasy. You want to go where the real love is, okay? And it starts with you. That's the bottom line. So it starts
you control
with
your circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know when you feel something is real and when it's off. And your circle of love might look like 3 people, but that's who you surround yourself with.
Well, that's enough for me.
Right, because people make me nervous.
Okay. Then start getting my anxiety up, and then
because what you want. That's
see, you always got your good eye open on somebody.
Yep.
Looking. You got to be aware of your surroundings everywhere you go. Yeah. So don't feel like, you can't get what it is that you want, and then just settle for some shit that you don't want, because that's never going to work out in the end. If you settle, it's never going to work out in the end. I promise you it won't, because you're not going to be happy. And you are in control of your own happiness, nobody else.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we got for today. We appreciate Sister for coming on and giving her insight, because as y'all can see, we are different but the same.
Right. It's always been this way.
And it's all, we talk about a lot of things. We communicate and we talk about all of this love stuff, all of this family stuff. We talk about everything under the sun. And sometimes I have a different point of view that she doesn't think of, and vice versa. So that's why I wanted her to come on and say, what she felt, because y'all, I'm always yakking. Y'all hear everything I say. So I wanted to bring somebody else on. And I think I'm going to do this once a month. She will be back, won't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she liked it. She didn't think she was going to like it, but she liked it. But anyway, I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who is liking, sharing, subscribing, following, whatever you're doing, listening, watching on all of the platforms. I am so grateful for you.
Listening, watching.
Because we are growing. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I understand that, but we're growing. And my whole point is wanting to help and heal. So that's the whole purpose of this. And if I touch one, that's all that
Let my sister help you.
That's all that matters to me, is touching somebody in a way that they really need to help them heal and grow. All right, so I'm sending you all peace, love, light, positive energy, and healing vibes. And I'll see you soon, macaroons. Let's dialogue in love. Bye.